Philadelphia is known for their cheesesteaks, but with so many places to try, not all of them are going to taste the same. So I wanted to try the worst, alright, and best cheesesteaks Philly has to offer, and see how bad or good they can really be. I also brought my cousin with me just to get another opinion. First, we're eating at what people claim is the worst. And I mean, just look at these reviews. Wow, that's not good. But if you thought that wasn't bad enough, their other locations should definitely help with that. These reviews are just terrible all around. Let's read what the people have to say.
Ordered DoorDash. I got chunks of chicken. ... Not sliced thin from my cheesesteak. Terrible.
Garbage. Fries are rubbery. Cheesesteak sucks. Keep looking. Wow, this guy just hates everything about it.
This one's so bad, dude. Worst cheesesteak ever. Why did it get so quiet? Worst cheesesteak ever. Meat tastes like dog food. Bread was chewy and stale. Fries were soggy. Everything was overpriced. Terrible. Seems like every review has terrible.
You know, they both end with terrible.
I don't know how to feel after reading all that, but I had to push through and eat this cheesesteak. Wish me luck. So this is it right here. Let's see how this tastes. Does it really deserve to be the worst reviewed? Let's see what it looks like. Definitely not as bad as I was thinking. Looks pretty filled in there. You can see all the cheese, the smoke's coming right off, nice and hot. Presentation of the cheesesteak itself, it's actually not too bad. It's filled up with steak, so what more do you want? Well, I guess it tasting good, so let's find out. I'm actually really surprised. After having it, I will say it's really not too bad at all. I was almost hoping for worse so I can put it in this video, but overall, I'll give it all a 7. Just 7 all around. I can see why it would probably get average reviews on Google and stuff, but 2.6 is very low. They made this place seem like it was just awful. Everything was gonna be wrong. Why isn't it like that? But now let's find out what Nick thinks.
I love cheesesteak, so I'm gonna be a real judge of this.
Pretty good bite. Someone's gonna put that on the wiki, like the Country Junction corn. We need your honest thoughts.
I'll tell you, it's mid at best. The steak, minimal flavor. The cheese is decent, but I want that cheese to drip through the whole steak, not just at the top.
Yeah.
And the bread, nothing special with the bread, to be honest. I love that thick, soft, fresh bread. This is kind of like Chickies and Pete's. I don't know. Hopefully we will have much better. There must have been like a week where the chef just was in a bad mood. He probably gave a bunch of people just stomped on, beat up, greasy cheesesteak, and these people were mad.
So I guess it's not too bad. Honestly, it's a pretty big disappointment.
You want them to be way worse. For the video's sake, I wanted this thing to have a shoe in it, hair, and toenails. That'd be a good video.
Come to my house, I'll make you one pretty similar.
All right, I'll try that. I mean, this place also probably would have went out of business if that happened, but would have been great video and title. Well, not too bad.
Not the best, not the worst, but right in the sweet spot.
Oh, yeah.
I did not need that.
Now we move on to an average cheesesteak, and that would be Pat's King of Steaks. You may be surprised to see this here because of how popular this place is, but just because it's well known doesn't mean everyone's gonna like it. Many people from Philly will tell you that if you want to get a cheesesteak, go somewhere else besides Pat's or even its rival across the street, Gino's. So with that, let's see what the people think about this famous spot.
They sure have changed. Cheesesteak was gummy, hard, and no taste. Service was not pleasing.
Doesn't sound too appetizing when it's gummy.
I find it overrated for the reviews I read before coming here. The sandwich was just okay. It was just very average for this guy.
This guy Marco wrote a whole novel. I hate to say, but this was such a huge disappointment. The meat was so dry and the bread was stale. With such great reviews around the world, on TV and on social media, I really expected much more. 25 bucks for a sandwich, small cup of fries, a bottle, and a water. 2 stars.
Now this review is one of my favorites. You have people that put paragraphs and pages of stuff. It goes on forever. No one is reading all of that. Well, now we got this guy Dan who gets straight to the point. One word, as simple as it gets, clear as day, overrated. 2 stars, that's it. At this point, we were looking for a place to order the food, but found out that they were doing construction on the building itself.
So right over here is where you used to order, but now it's just all boarded up. You can see all this brick and everything is here for remodels. But the saddest part about it all is that they used to have a bunch of photos up here, and some of them were Rocky, because right in this section was where Rocky 1 was filmed. There's a clip in the movie where you can see them here, and they used to have a plaque on the ground indicating that, but I guess they remodeled the sidewalk and now it's completely gone.
So in order to get your food, you had to go to this truck across the street. When I came here last time, I remember thinking it really wasn't the best thing ever. I was surprised of how popular they were, but I'll give it a second shot. Outside of the food truck, they had this thing ready in 1 second. That was the fastest service ever. As you can see, it's all in one. They don't even cut it up. You just get in there and eat. I'm actually surprised. Some of the reviews may be right. That steak was a little chewy. For as popular as this place is, it's really not the best of all time. And I remember that from last time. I was hoping they'd be a little different, but tastes just the same. I think the worst reviewed was better than this place. As famous as it is, I bet the history's great. I give it a 4 out of 10. But I'll see what Nick thinks.
I've had Geno's before. Thought it was good. Nothing crazy. Never had Pat's.
I just right away tasted chewy steak.
That's just like rubber in my mouth. For me, the bread either makes or breaks the cheesesteak, and this bread did not live up to it. Maybe it's because it's been stored in the truck. Who knows? But for being the king of steaks, I expected a lot more. Oh, rubber.
And now for the final and best reviewed place, we have Angelo's Pizzeria. It may have pizza in its name, but apparently their cheesesteaks are just as good. I heard many great things about this place, so I'm excited to try it out. And with a rating like this, it has to be something special. But first, let's read what the people think.
Well worth the hype. The cheesesteaks were massive, juicy, and flavorful. Cash only establishment. Try to order beforehand to avoid the 30-minute wait. We waited an hour. Note that there is no seating available. We went to a nearby park to eat there.
The best pizza and cheesesteak sandwich I ever had. I've had a lot of both in 3 countries and 21 states. The line out the front can be a bit chaotic, but the hassle is so worth it. Finally, a place that lives up to its own legend. Beyond amazing.
Insanely great pizza and cheesesteak sandwich. Blows any pizza place in Montreal out of the water by a long shot.
Got 3 cheesesteaks and a pizza. Food was phenomenal. Placed my order first thing Saturday morning and it was ready about 20 minutes later. Service was good and fast. And now with all of that, let's actually try what people claim is the best cheesesteak in Philadelphia. I'm excited for this one. Hour wait, long line, best reviews. This has to be good. Oh, it is filled with meat. Look at that inside there. That looks good, actually. I'm not gonna lie. I love cheesesteaks. Literally, anytime I go out to eat anywhere, that is all I get. So I know what I'm talking about when I say that this is actually really good. The bread, the steak, the cheese, that is one of the best cheesesteaks I've ever had, actually. I'm not even just hyping this place up. The reviews are accurate. This is good. People say Pat's is great. Doesn't even come close to this.
Woo, buddy. Every place so far, I've been extremely disappointed in the bread. That's why we came nice and early. This bread is fresher than fresh. I don't even know how to describe it. The steak cut perfectly. Perfect chew. Not too chewy though, like tires from Pat's. The cheese, the bread, even the temperature. Not too hot, not too cold. They actually nailed it. They killed it with this.
I don't even care if this thing's a cheesesteak. I'm gonna treat it as like it's a newborn baby. It's so good. This is rare for me to say, but I'm giving this place a 10 out of 10. It's really that great. Now, don't be too loud. The cheesesteak's sleeping. Overall, for the most part, I enjoyed every cheesesteak, but the best was obviously Angelo's. I would definitely recommend going here. Make sure to subscribe, and I am now selling merch. Click the link in the description to get yours today.